Right, hi. So it's Robert here at Overtime Heroics. We've got Kieran Davern. He is a straight blast gym black belt. He's a leglock specialist, and he's fighting on Polaris next weekend. So, Kieran, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Good to hear. Thanks for coming on. So yeah, past few months been pretty weird. This is the first time you're competing after lockdown, I'm guessing, right? Or have you been since?
Yeah, this is the first. This is the first time after lockdown. Yeah, I was meant to have a couple of different kind of like super fights and shows and that type of stuff, but they've all kind of fell through.
Hmm.
For obvious reasons with like restrictions and different changes and that. But yeah, it looks like Polaris is going ahead next weekend, so fingers crossed.
Yeah,
So far, it's looking good anyway.
nice one. Well, yeah, hopefully it keeps going ahead. And how's preparation been then? Like, sort of, how have you dealt with it?
I'm very lucky that like say I run my own school, SBG Tullamore, and it's like literally only like 2 kilometers away from my house. So I've been very lucky that I've been able to kind of like train during the lockdown. Even I suppose even in the beginning, I was able to kind of like work on strength and conditioning and everything else. And then as restrictions changed and that, then I had obviously had some training partners that like say that compete at a high enough level and like a few professional MMA fighters and that, so we were able to kind of train. So yeah, training's been great. And then even the last month or so, myself, Darragh O'Connell, Tom Halpin, and Fionn. We've all been kind of training together in
Oh,
Darragh's
really?
gym, so that's been a massive help for my training. Yeah, so we because obviously we're all on the same show and that, so we've been kind of pushing each other and kind of yeah, it's been great. I couldn't ask for better preparation.
That's good to hear. I think you're the only guy I've spoken to who's managed to train with anyone else who's been on the show. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. Right, yeah, no, we've been training together last month or so. So we've we've really kind of I felt like I've got a lot from training with the lads and everything else. You know what I mean? They've kind of showed me where I've needed to work, and then kind of showed me, I suppose, where I'm strong and everything else. And it's just been a great atmosphere. Like it's been driving up to Dublin every day, which is about an hour away from my house, and it's been like just exciting. You kind of have that buzz, like after lockdown, where we're kind of like working towards a goal and competing against or competing again, and then obviously like yeah, it's just been the last few months has been like great preparing for it. So yeah, couldn't ask for better preparation
Nice. And is there
considering
any,
how things are. Considering how everything is, I couldn't ask for better preparation.
yeah, well, you've got a great squad of people to be training with in that case. Yeah, the three of them. It's fantastic
Yeah.
to have them all together in one spot.
Yeah, so training with Darragh, Fionn, Tom Halpin up in East Coast Jiu-Jitsu, and then obviously like down in my own place I have some like great grapplers as well in SBG Tullamore. So I've had kind of like the best of both worlds,
Hmm.
all different kind of shapes and sizes and levels and everything else. So yeah, it's been great.
And were you at the Globetrotters Iceland camp as well?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was because that was another. I got loads of different bodies and that, like different. Some guys from like say, like leg lock guys and lads with like flexible guards, and then big like heavy guys, and then judo guys and wrestlers and everything else. So I was teaching out in the BJJ Globetrotters camp, and then the open mats like literally go on for like 2 or 3 hours. And obviously, if you're a coach or a black belt, like you have just like a queue or a line of killers mad to roll with you one after another. So that was also good as well. That was a couple of months ago. That was probably maybe July, mid-July, I think it was, or late July. So that was great. And I
Nice.
obviously got to train with Gunny as well. With
Gunny
Gunny because like
Nelson.
he's a great grappler. So I got to do some good rounds with him and that as well. So yeah, no, it's all going to stand to me hopefully on the night.
Nice. And well, what's your? You say you were teaching for the Globetrotters camp. Are you pretty heavily involved with those guys?
Yeah, like they get me to like meant to be coaching in Poland at the Zen camp in a few weeks' time. So
Hmm.
it's just I really enjoy like the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, as in just training, competing, traveling that, and I feel that Globetrotters like if you haven't been to a Trotters or Globetrotters camp, like you should definitely go. It's just a great vibe. There's no like no politics, no ego or anything like that. It's just training, and yeah, it's a good atmosphere and that. So I got involved with them because I know the lads out in Mulner, out in Iceland. Obviously, they have an affiliation to SBG and that, and that's how I kind of got in with Globetrotters. They gave me they kind of put me up free accommodation and everything else, and looked after me with a few different things. And in return, I had to
Nice.
coach, and that was a couple of years ago, and then I've kind of just been with them ever since. So I have a couple more camps to teach this year. All depending on the restrictions and everything. I have Poland in a couple of weeks at the Zen camp, and then I have Germany as well. They're doing one Heimburg in Germany. and hopefully a couple more if everything goes well.
That's really cool.
But, yeah, it's cool, and you get to see parts of the world, kind of like traveling around the world, doing what you love. Do you know what I mean? So that's a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been on one yet, but I'm pretty keen to go on one. I was looking at it this year, and then COVID happened, but it turns out they're all going ahead anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I should have signed up.
Yeah, so like some of them, a lot of them are going ahead, and then obviously it all depends on the countries and that, with different restrictions and everything else. So you know, so they've kind of booked me for a couple of them, and one or two of them haven't happened, but a few of them obviously have. So I suppose it's just week by week, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's great that they're being flexible about it, and to be honest, I like the
Yeah.
whole ethos of the organization. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the week free training and the mat surfing aspects. I
Yeah.
really like the, I don't know, sort of the counter creonch. It's like the sort of free training everywhere kind of attitude. I love that.
Yeah, but even like at the camps themselves, like you could have like 10 or maybe 10, 15, like say coaches, you know, high level like black belts and that, and they're teaching seminars. Like the seminars could be like on anything. It could be leg locks, or it could be judo or wrestling, or you know, it could be closed guard, gi, no gi, and everything else. But apart from that, like the coaches are like doing the open mat sessions, and like, you know, they're all on the open mat sessions, either like rolling, or they're kind of like just like showing techniques. And you know, it's kind of, especially when you're a coach and you get to like show someone like your magic trick, and you get to see the look in their face, you know, when you show them a new technique, in a sense, you know, that never gets old, you know. So if I and it's great to train with people from different, like, you know, different countries, and you know, anywhere around the world and that, and just kind of meeting different people, and I suppose networking yourself and getting your name out there as a coach and as a competitor and everything else. So yeah, no, it's my whole experience with globetrotters has been positive. You know, I've really enjoyed it, and you know, I'm looking forward to doing a few more camps with them.
Awesome. Little advert for Globetrotters. Love it.
Yeah.
Did you try any of the traditional? I know they do the Icelandic wrestling. I don't know if they do the traditional wrestling at the other camps. Give that a try.
Yeah, Glyma.
Yeah.
I think they call it Glyma is the name of the Icelandic. I didn't, but I watched it, and it looks fairly tough. You know, the reason I didn't get was I didn't want to get, like, I was actually meant to be competing a couple of weeks later. There was meant to be a show in Liverpool, and I was meant to have a match on it, and then like you're literally thrown in with like some big, huge Icelandic fellas that fucking, you know, throw you all around the place. Like, you're kind of attached in a harness at your waist and that.
Yeah.
I was like, right, I'd rather watch it this time and maybe do it next year, see how it goes.
Yeah, give it a try sometime. The folk style wrestlings are all, the folk wrestling styles are always odd and interesting, but I think it's quite cool. There's such a long heritage of these different styles.
Oh yeah, and in all different countries, like all different countries seem to have like some type of wrestling. Like even Ireland, there's what's it called? Irish collar and elbow. Yeah, collar and elbow wrestling or something. That's, I don't know how far that goes back, but like that seemed to be one of the things in Ireland as regard wrestling. That, like, so I think all the countries kind of have their own kind of like a different kind of like style of wrestling, you know.
Yeah, well, I've been really into the Thousand Holds guy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think he was the guy who got the Gleamer involved at the Iceland.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, fantastic stuff on folk style wrestling and just all around the world.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. All right, we've gone on a bit of a tangent there, but to bring it back to Polaris, sort of how are you feeling for the next weekend? Is there any tricks coming up your sleeve? Any sort of differences in your training that are going to come through?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope there's a few tricks. Like, yeah, I've just been trying to get better everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to improve. I suppose improve my game and improve the style that like I have. I've been kind of labeled as like a leg locker and that. And I don't actually mind it, because like my game is a lot broader than leg locks, and I actually take it as a compliment, because like it's not a lot of people said, you know, even if anyone calls you a specialist in anything, you know what I mean, it's great. I don't see myself as that, but I do enjoy leg locks, and you know, I do a lot of them and that. But I'm hoping to show a lot more. I'm hoping to show like a lot more wrestling, a lot more heavy passing, hopefully some, and I don't want to give away too much, but a few different submissions that I kind of do well with. But and the leg locks are always going to be there. I'm not fussy, like, you know what I mean. Whatever I can get, I'll take it, and hopefully, if people are expecting the leg locks, it might open up a different, different area that I can attack, maybe the neck or the arms or something else, or maybe sweep and get on top. But yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I'm just looking forward to competing. Like I have a class team behind me. You know, there's 700 lads in the team, and you know they're all high level in that. And I think like having them behind me on the night is gonna like give me an extra gear or two. And you know, I'm just very grateful to get the invitation to compete on Polaris, especially at a time like this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just excited. You know, I'm not. The work is done. Like literally, I took this weekend off training because I've been training hard the last few months for it. And I'm literally just after finishing like a surfing session. I was in the water there for the last maybe four hours or something. So I only got out of the water about 45 minutes ago. So I jumped into the shower and then got on to do the interview with yourself. So I normally do this. I take 2 days off, just let the body kind of the body and the mind just kind of like reap the rewards of training, and then I'll get maybe 2 or 3 more sessions in this week. Like a good sweat, and I'll stretch a lot, and then yeah, hopefully it all pays off on Saturday night. So I'm really looking forward to competing. You know what I mean, and going out and showing hopefully another area of my game, and then if I can pick up a couple of leg lock submissions, that's all great too. So I'm not fussy. Whatever I can get, I'll take it.
And I completely fed into that leg lock thing. I mean, I looked on Polaris. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it at some point.
Yeah.
And on the internet. How come?
Yeah,
why?
no, well, I've had a lot of I've had a lot of wins by leg locks, in fairness. So I suppose it's the lads that like know me maybe from my team and like say maybe lads that have trained with me in the gym, and I suppose like even before I got onto Polaris and that, maybe a few different types of like submissions. I hit a lot more like rear naked chokes in competitions. I've had like a lot of rear naked choke finishes and that, like, and finishes from the back. But maybe I am a leg locker. Maybe I'm in denial. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I don't mind. It's a compliment. If as long as people are talking, it's good anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So like maybe I am a leg locker and I don't realize it. But I am fond of a leg locker too. Anyway.
To be fair, if I was good enough to accidentally become a specialist in something, I'd take that as a compliment as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking it as a compliment. You know what I mean? So maybe hopefully next year they might be calling me a wrestling specialist or a Kimura specialist or something. So I'll just keep improving my game and hopefully it kind of see where it takes me anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. So do you so this week you said you've only got 2 or 3 sessions coming up. Do you typically have like a back off before competitions then?
Yeah. So I'll probably have more than 2 or 3 sessions, but 2 or 3 kind of tough enough like rolling sessions. So I'll do a session tomorrow night. Say in my own gym in Tullamore, and then I'll meet up with Dara and the lads Tuesday morning, and then I'll meet up with them Wednesday morning, and we'll probably start tapering down now. It won't be anything too heavy. Do you know what I mean? Because I find that the biggest difference for this kind of if you want to call it camp or training for a competition, for me I feel like I'm not burnt out, and I'm not going into the matches like feeling where I've left the hardest rounds in the gym. Now I've had tough rounds in the gym, like I'm training with some really high level lads and that, but I feel I've monitored my training a lot smarter. Maybe it's just from experience and everything else. I'm after gaining like a few kilos since last November. I'm working with a great nutritionist, Tristan Kennedy, his name is. He's McGregor's or Conor McGregor's nutritionist. So he's kind of working with me, and he's been absolutely brilliant. So I'm after putting on maybe 4 or 5 kilos, and I feel that like I was nearly overtraining and under eating, if that makes sense. So I feel like I feel very strong and very rejuvenated, and I feel my rest and heart rate's very low, and and I feel that that should all stand to me on the night. Everything's pointing in that direction, that I kind of I feel fresh, and I'm not going into the competition burnt out or anything like that. And I'm genuinely happy and looking forward to competing, and showing what I can do, and hopefully pulling a few tricks out of the bag and getting a few submissions.
Yeah, and I know you used to compete in MMA. It was a while ago since your last fight, but obviously, MMA fighters do tend to have more of a focus on camps rather than sort of all-round training. Do you think that's what influenced you to do it like this with the back offs and everything?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. And I coach a lot of lads. We've a good, strong competition team and that. And I've, like I said, good strength and conditioning coaches around me, and I've good people around me that have been training years, and they've obviously have like experience themselves. And I suppose that because I'm in the game a little bit longer now, I'm kind of getting a little bit more sensible. I'm kind of like an older head on a young man's body in a sense. So. Yeah, maybe it's just I've tried so many different ways, and I just feel that this way I just feel better. I feel better this way, and I just feel my recovery is a lot better, and my mindset is like I'm genuinely excited to compete. That's how I feel. I don't I'm like, it's not like I'm looking, how would I explain it? Like yeah, I just feel like a kid that's ready to get up at Christmas morning and open up his ties. You know what I mean? And maybe it's because like we haven't competed in so long because of lockdown and everything else. And Polaris is a great stage. It's on UFC Fight Pass and everything else. And there's going to be a lot of eyes in the event because there isn't too much sport at the moment. But yeah, I'm just genuinely excited and happy, to compete.
Nice. And is there anyone you're hopefully competing? Obviously, it's big teams. Anyone you're hopefully grappling against next weekend?
Do you know what? I'm trying to not like fixate on anyone in particular. Like obviously, like there's some great names on the team, and they're all good. And I'm looking. I don't want to look past anyone, because I know that any given day that any of them can catch me, and on any given day I can catch any of them. And that's how I feel, and that's so I don't want to give like one opponent too much focus and then not concentrate too much on anyone else. So no, I'm honestly, whoever I get, it's going to be a test for me, and it's going to show me like it's going to show me where I'm strong, and it's going to show me where I need to work. So I just kind of it's a test, and I believe I'm going to pass it Saturday night. But sure, look, they're all good lads, and they're all in good shape and everything else. So I'm sure they know my game, and I know a lot of their games and that. So it's going to be who can impose their game on them tonight. And who's coming in with the best mindset and the strongest mindset, and who's coming in like fresh and prepared, and everything else. There's a lot of factors that come into play, and then just like just performing on the night. That's the only thing I can control, is concentrate on my performance on the night. So yeah, I'm not too worried who I get. I'm just hoping to put on a show and an exciting match, and hopefully get a few finishes.
Hopefully, yeah. And if you say you're aware of everyone's game, do you have a specific way that you would play against certain people or certain styles, or do you tend to just have your game that you're going to impose in a particular way?
Yeah, I might, like, for some people I might change up, like playing top and playing bottom, so I might, like, for other people I might wrestle them more, and then for other people I might like play guard, so I don't want to say who or whatever else, but and then it comes to like we'll have a meeting with our team the night before, Dara and the rest of the lads. Dara's the team captain and that, so we'll have a meeting the night before, and I suppose we'll kind of like chat and have like an open conversation about who matches better with who, and there'll be a bit of strategy and everything else, so yeah, like if I have to adapt and change on the night, then I'll do that as well. So say, for example, if I'm playing bottom and I can't get anything going, well, then I'm going to have to start wrestling and coming up on top, and vice versa. So it's 5 minutes. It's going to be a fast pace. Like anytime I'm on Polaris and that, like I do come for the finish, and like whatever match I'm going to be in is going to be exciting either way. I'm hoping to get like a few highlight reels out of this. You know what I mean? A few kind of hit a few good techniques and that. But yeah, they're all solid. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you have got those really short 5-minute rounds. How do you feel about them? Because that's really quick.
Yeah, do you know what? Right, there's a couple of ways of looking at it. Like, say, like I could go out like an absolute lunatic for 5 minutes, and that might happen. But the I think it has to be controlled chaos. Because I think if you just come out reckless in that, like if you're going against any good high level belt, regardless of color belt, especially most lads on the other team are brown and black belts. If you sometimes when you go for stuff, you open yourself up, so it's going to have to be calculated. I can't be like reckless either. You know what it means? But there's going to be a little bit of figuring out. So maybe there might be figuring out for a minute or two, or it might just like literally come out like Usain Bolt and just attack, because it's 5 minutes. I'm fit, and it's going to be exciting,
Yeah. No, I mean, I do wonder if that's the angle Polaris has gone for to try and make the matches
Yeah,
more
I think
exciting.
it is.
Mm.
Yeah, and then like, but basically, like, if there's no submission, the two of you are off. Do you know what I mean? I'd be disappointed if, like, if I had to come off and I didn't perform. You know, that's my biggest thing. Like, I just want to perform, and if that gets me a submission, or it gets me, like, just say like a great performance and I did my best, well, that's all I can do. That's the only thing I can control. But if I say, for example, if I was like too cautious, too cagey, that would annoy me more than putting on a great match and getting submitted. You know, so I'd rather just, like, it's kill or be killed, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, going for the submission or getting caught in the submission, and that's it. Like, I want to put on an exciting match. There's people sitting at home watching it, and there isn't much sport going on. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. You know, but, like, obviously not reckless or anything like that. It's going to be calculated, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to look for the submission. You know, and they're going to be looking for the submission on me, so it's going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we'll see what way it plays out.
Hey, this is why you've probably got the invitation to Polaris. You're putting on the if you're going to go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy Irish man on the show jumping on the legs.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
And the rule set in general, though, because it's kind of like I looked over the rules. It's kind of like more complicated quintet, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the because it's a bit experimental. What do you think about the
Yeah. You know, anything that's different and kind of like I suppose it's a breath of fresh air, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? I suppose we'll know more about the rules after the show, in the sense that, like, you know, any rule set can be manipulated, or, you know, anyone can play the rule set, whether it's like EBI, ADCC, or IBGF, or, you know, fill in the blank. And I'm sure that we'll have a lot more information, like, as regards, like, the way the rule set is played after the show. But I know that there's a lot of, like, kind of veterans on our teams. Like, we have, like, obviously Dara, Ashley Williams, Bradley Hill, and, you know, with some really good lads, and I'm sure that they're going to have some ideas on what way to, you know, as regard who goes first and what way to kind of play the game a bit. Like, so there is going to be strategy, you know, as regards, like, putting, like, a certain person in first and middle and last. You know, and then we've obviously some young killers on the team. We've, like, Jed Hugh and Taylor Perriman, and you know, we've Dominic Dillon, and, you know, like, it's an honor to compete beside, like, all of them, because they're all very you know, high level, and they're talented in that. So like I said to you, they're going to give me an extra couple of gears, just like them being on the side of the map, pushing me on. You know, so I'm excited to see which version of me shows up.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stacked on both sides. I mean, there's some big names.
Stacked on both sides.
Yeah,
stacked on both sides. I'd say you're going to see some, like, crazy submissions, and, you know, like, and there's a few leg lockers on it, and everything else, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, one wrong move, and, you know, someone's going to get caught. Like, it's very high level. So.
Mm-hmm. And I guess then, more generally, do you like the fact that Jiu-Jitsu brings out these experimental rule sets? Because, I mean, EBI at the time obviously was its own experiment, and quintet and everything.
Yeah.
Or would you prefer that it stayed a bit more consistent and you knew exactly how you're going to compete each time?
I don't really mind, you know what I mean, in the sense that, like, I've competed under, like, a good few different rule sets, and I don't think we've found the perfect rule set yet, and I don't even know if there is the perfect rule set, you know. So like, for me, I like sub only, and I like you know, ADCC style rules. They're kind of like my favorite kind of rules to compete under. I've competed in competitions with EBI rules and that, but I found that with EBI, a lot of people were able to kind of play the game, you know, especially a couple of years in, they were just, like, not getting submitted, and then they were just, like, doing a penalty shootout, in a sense, like starting on someone's back or starting in the arm bar and working on those positions for hours, you know, as regards, like, escaping the back or escaping the arm bar or finishing from there. But yeah, no, I don't really mind. To me, it's just I've always had the mindset of, like, finishing. You know, like, even in an IBGF tournament, and it's probably been, like, maybe a downfall to mine, in a sense, like I literally go in to finish. You know, like, I won last year. I was in a competition in Ireland. It was the Irish Nogi Open. It was the first time the IBGF were over, and I moved up from middle heavyweight up to heavyweight because there was no one in my division, and it was my first IBGF competition at black belt, and I ended up winning the competition anyway. But I won the final by 3 advantages, and it annoyed me so much. But it's just I got sucked into that game. Like, there was a guy that was competing against, and he was like a deep half guard player, and I knew that he was waiting for me to, like, for the last like 60 seconds or whatever, like to hit his special move and try sweep and come up on top. And I could feel it off him. You know, he was like kind of nearly, if you want to call it stalling or whatever else, but I could feel it. And then after I won the final by, I won the semi-final by knee bar, and I won the final by 3 advantages. And yeah, just after I was kind of disappointed I didn't get the finish. You know, so but that's just me. You know, I love the submission side of jiu-jitsu. You know, I think for viewers as well, it's important. You know, if we want to get like if we want to get more people looking at it and that, like, we need to have something that encourages submissions. You know, and then at the end of the day, like, you see, like, when people compete in that, like, different shows, big shows and that, no one really cares if you lose, but people care, like, if it was an exciting match. You know, like, literally, like, after, like, we compete on Saturday night, and when people turn off UFC Fight Pass, they'll probably, like, drink another beer, eat pizza, and they'll just forget about any of the boring matches. But if you were in an exciting match, you know, people will always remember you as an exciting grappler. You know, I think that's why I got the invitation as well to come to Polaris, because I look to finish, and, you know, I'm in exciting matches and that. Yeah, but I think people, no one really cares if you win or lose in a sense. But like, you look at Gary Tonin, for example. Like, he doesn't win all his matches, but he's never really in a boring match. Do you know what I mean? But no one looks at him and says, oh, he's not a great grappler, or he's not one of the world's best because he didn't beat such and such. You know, but if you look at him, like, people have kind of labelled him as the world's most exciting grappler. You know, even though he doesn't win all of his matches. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just want to be Saturday night. I just want to be a part of. Obviously, I want, number one priority, I want my team to win. I want me to pick up a few submissions, and I want to be in exciting matches. They're my 3 goals for the weekend.
Nice. Well, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but there's just one more sort of broad, deep question I want to ask. Yeah. Would you then compromise your, if you're saying that excitement is most important, would you compromise your style in terms of effectiveness in favor of putting on more of a show for the audience?
That's the thing. So, like, even though I'm saying that, there's a fine line between, like, you know, like, taking calculated risks. I can't just, like, go in and just, like, jump on top of someone and then I'm caught in, you know, X, Y, or Z. And then it comes down to your dance partner as well. You know, it takes two to tango, as they say. So, like, here's the little boys in here, stuck his head in. Daddy's doing an interview. Is
he a fan of grappling?
Yeah, well, he's only 3 years of age. He started jiu-jitsu about 2 months ago. Nice. In the gym. So I have him in. He's in what we call the Spider Monkeys class. But what were we saying there? Sorry, about this. Yeah, it takes two to tango. Yeah, like, say for example, I could go in at the weekend, and someone might just, like, not move, or just like for me to get a submission, I need people to open up, and for them to get a submission, they need me to open up. But, like, some people can, like, compete and not lose rather than to compete to win or finish. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
You know, so, like, I could go in there Saturday night, and someone might just like just turtle up and just, like, play really defensive. You know, I've been in matches before where I've been, like, in a few years ago as a purple belt or a brown belt. I've been in matches where I've, like, say, been you know, in mount top, and then people have just been happy just to stay on the bottom and just kind of, like, you know, cover up and not get submitted. So there's a lot of that, and then it's hard sometimes to open someone up without strikes, in a sense. You know what I mean? If they're just, like, not moving, like, not trying to win the match. So, but look, I'm sure, like, the other team's an exciting team, and I know that they're looking to come and finish. There's some veterans on the other side as well, and they're definitely going to have some tricks up their sleeves. You know what I mean? Like, so like, it's very hard to what's the word? Like, say, it's very hard to it's very hard to know what's going to happen, like, as regards, like, say, because you need a good dance partner. You need someone that's going to look to come for the finish as well. You know, and I think there's a few lads on that team that's going to bring out the best of me as well, and I'm sure that I'll do the same to them, in a sense.
Nice. Well, look, man, it sounds like it's going to be some exciting matches for you next weekend. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we close this off?
No, I'm all good. Thanks for having me, and I want to say thanks to my sponsors, Tatami Fightwear, my team, SBG Tullamore, and all my training partners and the lads on Team UK and Ireland. Yeah, that's really it. I'm excited, and hopefully I can put on a good show for everyone watching it.
Awesome. Well, look, thanks for taking the time, man, and best of luck next weekend. Yeah, I'll be watching, and yeah, I'll be excited for it.
No problem. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Cheers, boss.
Cheers. Bye bye.